So welcome back to Learning Partner. This video series is going to be specifically for ReactJS. What do we say? Logic development or the problem statement solving. But the same concept you can use in Angular also, or the JavaScript. Technology can be anything, right? But problem statement and the logic development is not related to any technology specific, right? Logic will be same. Let's say if you have any task, and that task you need to accomplish with ReactJS or Angular or JavaScript also. Logic will be same. The writing of the coding will be only different, right? Syntax will be different. And this series will be specifically in Hindi. So some Hindi and English, it will be mixed, right? So one more thing, ये application हम अभी देखने वाले हैं grocery list की. Application is very simple. Let me just show you. This was developed in JavaScript, but same thing हम React में implement करने का try करेंगे. So हमें क्या करना है? Grocery list का item बनाना, list बनाना है along with the item name and the price. So you can see if I select rice and let's enter 3 quantity on click of add, जो हमने select किया है वो यहाँ पे add हो रहा है, right? और text box और ये सब empty भी हो रहा है. Let's add sugar with quantity 5, right? जो भी हम आइटम्स ऐड कर रहे हैं वो नीचे टेबल में ऐड हो रहे हैं और नीचे टोटल भी दिख रहा है, राइट? सो दिस इज नथिंग बट अ सिंपल टास्क. सेम टास्क हमें रिएक्ट में इम्प्लीमेंट करना है, बट वॉट एवर द लॉजिक एंड वॉट एवर द फ्लो आई विल बी यूजिंग, सेम फ्लो आप एंगुलर या रिएक्ट और इवन जावास्क्रिप्ट और जेक्यूरी में भी ट्राई कर सकते हो, राइट? जस्ट कोडिंग विल बी डिफरेंट. नाउ वन मोर थिंग, I will be posting this URL. This is just a WhatsApp channel I have created so that you can connect with me. So please join this also. I will post this in the video description. Now let's start on the React. So you can see this is just HTML we already have. So everything is static only, right? You can see drop down is there, text box is there, button is also there, and in the bottom we have table where this is static and these are T body is going to be multiple, right? And here we have to show the total cost. So this is the UI which is there. This is just the static UI. Now, what are the major tasks we are going to do? First, we have to create the list item, right? Array of object where we will have the items. Then quantity on click of add, the whatever the data we select that should be added into the another array that will be cart items, right? And for the cart item, we have to use the for loop and we have to show the data added in the cart item in the table. These are the various tasks we are going to do. So first thing, we have to create the array of item, right? So over here, now this array of items means grocery list item is not going to change. So I will keep it as a normal variable because this data is not going to change. So here, let's say cooking oil. Let's say 250. Let me just copy paste. Let me just add the data. So in the item list, I have added some items, right? So sunflower oil is there, price, iodized salt, white label sugar, some just the data I have added. Now, first task is done that we have created the list of item list, right? And now we have stored that into the item list. Now, in the drop down, we have to show whatever the items we have in this array. So we have to use the map operator to make dynamic option. So over here, right, our array name is item list. So item list dot map round bracket. We are going to need data only. So we can say item arrow function round bracket return round bracket. Then we have to create our option. So option, right? Now, this is an option we have created. In option, we have to print Now in item, we are going to get the object. So you can see in item, we are going to get the object. So item dot item name, we have to print over here. Item dot item name. But to the option, we have to bind the value also. So value, we will bind item name only, because we don't have item ID or anything. So you can create an item ID also, and then value, you can bind the item ID. But just the concept will be that, right? So now we have created the array of item, and that we have binded to our option. Means items options are going to be multiple now. So let's say when check. So over here, you can see whatever the items we have added, that items are visible. So with the item name, I need to show the cost also, right? So after this, let's add hyphen. And what do we say? In round bracket, we will add the cost. So let me just get the rupees symbol. Rupees symbol and item dot price I will show. So curly bracket, item dot price, right? So let's say now in the drop down, I will get item name plus price also I'm showing. Now, next thing is, if I select this and if I enter some quantity, we need to add it, right? So now we need an object where we are going to store the data of item and the quantity also. So let's create that object. And that object is going to be changed. So we have to create as a state. So let's name it as a selected item, comma, set selected item method, then useState. Now here we have to initialize an object. So properties will be item name. Let's make it is initialized with empty. Price. We are going to need the price also. Then quantity. Okay. So you can see I have created an state with the object. In that object, we are going to have three properties: item name, price, and the quantity. Now, next thing, we need to create a method also, which we will call on the change of the dropdown. So const change selected item, just a method name I am creating, is equal to round bracket. This method is going to be responsible to update the object, right? So in this, we are going to have two parameters: event and the field name or key, object key. Then here we have to write set selected item, round bracket, previous object, arrow function, then round bracket, and inside that, using spread operator, we are going to change previous object, comma. Now key will be dynamic, right? So inside the square bracket, we have to pass the key. And value will be event.target.value. So event.target.value. So this function is going to be dynamic, which we will use to update the field we have in the array object, right? So now this function we have to call on the drop-down change. So this is the drop-down over here. So on change event. Now for this event, we have the parameter. So we have to write the arrow operator, right? So here we will need event, the change event, and we need to pass this function. First parameter, you can see event is there. So this event, we will pass it over here. Then the key. So key is nothing but item name, because in the drop down value, we have binded item name. So that only we are going to pass. Just like this, on the text box also, we need to do the same thing. So on change, round bracket, event, arrow operator, curly bracket, our function name, that is change selected item, and we need to pass two parameters. First is the event and second is the property, that is quantity. Right? Now, let's just print this data somewhere. We had this call 6, right? So after this call 6, we have this UL, and here I will print selected item dot name. I will print. After that, hyphen selected item dot quantity we will print. Price we are not getting right now, but two things we have done, so that we will check if it is getting stored in the properly data. So if I selecting let's say iodized salt, so here you can see object is getting updated. Let's even enter 4, that is also getting objected, right? Means whenever we change the values from the drop down and the quantity text box, that value is getting stored into our selected item object, into the particular properties, right? Then next task is on click of add, we need to push this object into our array. So let's create another array that will be cart item. So let cart items means whatever the items user has selected, that we need to save it into the cart item. Set cart items useState. Let's initialize this with empty array. Then we need a method. So constant add item method, round bracket. Now in this method, what we are going to do, we have to push the data into this cart item, right? So cart item previous array, and here we need to add the existing array. So in previous array, the spread operator we are using, and we have to pass the latest object. Now just let me just complete the code first. Now this function we are going to call on the button click, that is on this add button. So let's call this first. So on click simply function. Now for this function, we don't have any parameter, right? So you can directly call the function like this. If we have to pass the parameter, then only you can use syntax like this with the arrow function, right? Now on click of this add button, this function is going to be get called. Now when we click on add, in the item selected item data, we have item name and the quantity, but we don't have price over here. Price is in the item list. So using this item name, we need to find the price, and that we need to update in the selected item price, right? So that for that, first we need to get the data. So const item. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to find the data. मुझे क्या करना है, डेटा फाइंड करना है. कहां से? आइटम लिस्ट से, विथ मैचिंग आइटम नेम. जो भी आइटम नेम यहाँ पे मैंने स्टोर किया उससे मुझे डेटा फाइंड करना है. सो आइटम लिस्ट डॉट फाइंड क्वेरी, राइट? अरे मेथड इज देयर फाइंड. सो फाइंड मेथड क्या करती है, हमें अरे में से कुछ पर्टिकुलर ऑब्जेक्ट यूजिंग वॉट एवर द कंडीशन हम सर्च कर सकते हैं, राइट? सो यहाँ पे मैं एक्स एरो फंक्शन, x is an array of objects, so x dot किससे कंपेयर करना है? आइटम नेम से. इक्वल टू सिलेक्टेड आइटम में मेरा सिलेक्टेड आइटम है, जो भी मैंने आइटम सिलेक्ट किया वो इस ऑब्जेक्ट में. सो सिलेक्टेड आइटम डॉट आइटम नेम. ओके, नाउ we are trying to find the data from the item list. So always make sure you should write undefined check over here. So if item not equal to undefined means we have got the data whatever condition we have passed. मतलब आइटम नेम जो भी हमने सेंड किया है उससे डेटा हमें मिला है यहाँ पे, तो ही हमें कुछ कोड करना है. सो अगर हमें आइटम मिला है, सो अब मैं यहाँ पे क्या करूंगा, मैं नया ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट करूंगा. न्यू ओबीजे इज इक्वल टू कौन सा ऑब्जेक्ट? नथिंग बट यही. ओके, अब यहाँ पे डेटा कौन सा पास करना है? सिलेक्टेड आइटम. आइटम नेम के पास मैं सिलेक्टेड आइटम डॉट आइटम नेम करूंगा. लोकल वेरिएबल क्रिएट कर रहा हूँ जस्ट. क्वांटिटी मेरे पास ऑलरेडी है, वो मैं इस ऑब्जेक्ट से लूंगा. इसका भी रीजन बताता हूं मैं कि ऐसा लोकल वेरिएबल क्यों क्रिएट करना है. उसके बाद मुझे प्राइस असाइन करना है. सो प्राइस मैं लूंगा इस ऑब्जेक्ट से, आइटम से. सो आइटम डॉट प्राइस. सो मैंने क्या किया, अरे में से मैंने पर्टिकुलर जो आइटम मैंने सिलेक्ट किया उसका रिकॉर्ड फाइंड किया. अगर मुझे रिकॉर्ड मिला है, आइटम में डेटा मिला है, सो मैंने नया ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट किया, लोकल वेरिएबल, राइट? जो प्रॉपर्टीज मेरे उस ऑब्जेक्ट में थी वही. सो आइटम नेम, प्राइस मैंने कहाँ से असाइन किया? सिर्फ आइटम से. बाकी चीजें मैंने सिलेक्टेड आइटम से ही ली है. सो ये मेरा क्या हो गया, नया ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट हो गया. अब ये ऑब्जेक्ट मुझे पुश करना है मेरे अरे में. सो ये कोड जाएगा यहाँ पे. सो ये ऑब्जेक्ट जो है वो मुझे यहाँ पे असाइन करना है. सो जो एग्जिस्टिंग अरे होगा उसमें मेरा वाला नया ऑब्जेक्ट पुश हो जाए. सो लेट जस्ट प्रिंट कार्ट आइटम so that we can see data is getting added or not properly. So after this, I'm adding br tag. And after that, I'm printing my array, that is cart item. So let's just save and check now. So let's say I have added iodized salt with quantity 4. On click of add, we have got error, objects are not valid. Why it is saying objects are not valid in cart item? Set cart item empty, previous array. We are passing the new object. So it was because we have tried to print the array of object directly. So we cannot print the array of object directly. So we can simply check the length. So length. Okay, let's reload. So currently you can say length is 0. Let's select iodized salt with quantity 3, add. 1 is there. And let's add peanuts with quantity 5, add. So you can see array length is getting increased. Means whatever the data we are pushing, that is getting pushed to my array. Right? Now that data we have to render in our table. That is nothing but over here. Right? So this was the TR which was static. So now we have to make it dynamic. So cart item dot map. Now we are going to need two fields. I mean, two parameters we can use, item also and an index, because we need to show the serial number, right? So item, column, index. So two parameters we are going to use, arrow function, return keyword, round bracket, and this tr I will copy paste and paste it over here. Now, instead of this one, we are going to print the index. Now index will start from 0. So we will just increment it by 1. So it will start from 1. Then cooking oil and the price we need to show. So cooking oil, we will get that from the item. So item dot, let's get the property name properly. That is item name. So copy and paste it over here. Then price also we need to show, right? So here also item dot price. Right? Same. This price we are going to show over here also after the rupees symbol. So it will go over here. And this 2 is nothing but quantity. So quantity we need to show. Right? Now we need to make it, get it multiplied also. So here we can just do item price into quantity. Let's save and check if it is working fine. Let's remove this static thing. Let's reload. Okay. So currently in the table, you can see no data is there. If I select iodized salt with quantity 2, add. So you can see iodized salt was having 120 rupees. So 120 into 2, 240 we have got. Let's add raw rice with quantity 5, add. You can see, right? Just like chana dal with quantity 2, add. So now whatever the items we are adding, that is successfully getting displayed into the my table, right? Next task is we need to get the sum of all the prices and show the total over here, right? So let's do that. So let's create another variable where we will store the total cost. So let total cost set total cost useState. Let's initialize that with 0. So initially the total cost will have a 0 value, and this total cost variable we will display in the total over here. Right. So currently it has the 0 value. Now, whenever we click on add, we need to we need to update this total value variable. So over here. So set total cost. And here we need to pass item dot price into our quantity. That is nothing but selected item quantity will over here. Now before that, First we can write constant existing last total is equal to. So first we need to get the existing total because we need to keep it incrementing, right? So total cost plus this code will go over here. So whatever the existing cost is there, let's say at the initial stage, it is 0. 0 plus whatever the quantity we have. Then this last total we will pass to update the state. Okay. Then let's say 0 plus 10 we have got. So in the total variable, total cost variable, 10 data will be there. Let's say again we add now 10 plus whatever the new value, right? So let's just check if it is working properly or not. Sorry, this should be item.price over here, not directly price. Let's reload and check it. So let's say I select iodized salt with quantity 2, add. So you can see 240 we have got it over here. Let's select raw ice with quantity 5, add. So you can see the total we are getting correct, right? Now it comes to validation. Let me just reload. If I don't select anything and directly click on add, right? So somewhere code is not breaking. We have, because we have added the undefined check. So you can see nothing is breaking because when we click on the add, we have added the check over here. Because if we don't get, if item is not selected, we are not getting anything over here, right? So just to disable the button, if nothing is selected, we can disable the button. So for that, let's use disable flag over here, right? And for disable, we can pass the condition. So this button we need to disable. So let's use the disable flag is equal to curly bracket. Now we need to pass the condition. So what will be the condition? We can simply just check if in selected item we have the item name or not. So selected item dot item name equal to empty, and second condition, quantity we need to check. Quantity equal to empty, because by default we are initializing with the empty. So if both are empty, right, then we are disabling. Let's save and check. So currently you can see button is disabled, right? But if I select this with one also, it is getting enabled. Let's check. If item name is equal to empty, not equal to empty, let's just add not and not. Otherwise it will behave vice versa, I think. Let's check. Okay, so we can just add a not over here. Let's wrap it in a round bracket and add a not over here. Now it will work fine. So currently button is disabled. If I select iodized salt and provide the quantity, then only button is getting enabled on click of add. But once we add, I need to reset this form also, right? Quantity should get empty and select item should get empty. So that also we can do. Once we do the add, what we need to do, we can just reinitialize our selected item data. So selected item, this state we have to use, and we need to pass the same object with empty initialization. This I will pass it over here. Okay, so it won't be like that. We have to use this method only. Or we can simply pass. Let's check. We are just assigning the new value, right? So let's just try to pass this, if it works or not. If I select add to add. Okay, so it is not working. Let's try our normal way only. So now we have to update the value. So previous obj, right? So here dot previous object, curly bracket, Whatever the things we have to do, we can just initialize that. So item name, colon empty, comma, price also we need to initialize with empty, and quantity also we need to initialize with empty. Let's save and check. Now I think it should work fine. Still not working. Let's check if we have any error. We don't have any error related to that, but still data is not there, right? Here you can see if I select this and this is nothing but whatever the object we have got that we have printed. If I click on add, continue, see this is getting removed, means object is getting emptied, but the values are not getting, means the drop down and the text box is not getting empty. That is because that are just independent control, right? We need to assign the object with the value. So here value we will add with our object. So that will be selected item dot name. We have to pass it over here. Then it should work. Selected item dot add. Because it is empty, then this option will be selected. Just like that to the text box also. Quantity we will add. Then it will look like the form is emptied. Let's reload. So if I select sunflower, quantity, add, right? So now you can see the form is also got reset, right? So this is the thing what we have did. So what do we say? We have created array of grocery. On click of add, again we have created one object to store the data. On click of add, that data we have stored into array, right? We have we have created one more variable to store the total cost. Once we click add, we are pushing the latest cost to the total item, and that we have printed. And on click of add, we have reset the form also, right? So this is just a first logical problem I have done. Like this, there are so many. So this is just a site GitHub application. I have GitHub repository I have hosted. So there are so many, just like this, so many tasks are there. Train booking, right? Movie booking, calculator is there. Zoom car booking app is there. Then hotel order system is there. So many small logical tasks are there to do. This is well-known famous one, right? Then student registration form is there. Let me just go back. And the movie seat booking also, particular seat movie booking also I can do. So all these tasks we can do using using React. So every alternate day or in between, I will be posting same topic, right? So if you have the basic React knowledge, so you can work on this logical problem that will increase your logic development and the problem solving techniques. So if you are new to this channel, please do like, subscribe. That's it with the current video.